Hey, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors, to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. Something wild just went down in the NFL world, and everyone's talking about it. Jerry Rice, yes, the Jerry Rice. The legend, the icon, the man who basically rewrote the record books, just dropped a bomb about the Dallas Cowboys, and the internet exploded in seconds. It's not every day that someone of his stature decides to come out swinging, but this time he didn't hold back. During a recent interview, Rice tore into the Cowboys organization, throwing shade not only at the players but also at the people upstairs. And when Jerry Rice talks football, people listen. This wasn't some passing comment or casual remark. It was a full-on critique, dripping with frustration and honesty. Fans didn't know whether to applaud him or clutch their pearls. What sparked it all? Apparently, it started with a question about leadership and accountability. Rice paused, smirked, and then unleashed what's now being called the Cowboys rant. Within minutes, clips were all over social media, and the takes were flying faster than a Dak Prescott interception on a bad night. Nobody expected this from Jerry Rice, but maybe, just maybe, someone had to say it out loud. Now, here's where things start to get really interesting. According to people close to the situation, Rice's comments weren't random. They were calculated, coming from a place of genuine frustration about what he sees as the Cowboys' wasted potential. He reportedly said, "The Cowboys have the talent, but they don't have the discipline, and that comes from the top." That single line hit harder than a linebacker in the open field. Fans of other teams nodded in agreement, while Cowboys Nation went into full meltdown mode. Some defended their team, saying Rice was living in the past, that today's NFL is different. Others admitted he wasn't wrong. The Cowboys have been hyped as America's team for decades, yet the results rarely match the noise. Jerry wasn't taking shots for clout. He was making a statement about culture, about standards, about what winning teams actually do behind the scenes. And when someone who's been to the mountaintop speaks, it's hard to ignore. As the video spread across platforms, reactions got louder and more chaotic. Sports talk shows couldn't get enough of it. Headlines everywhere read, "Jerry Rice destroys Cowboys. NFL legend exposes Dallas leadership. Rice says what fans were thinking." It became the week's biggest storyline, overshadowing actual game previews and player injuries. On Twitter, memes were born instantly. Fans photoshopped Rice in a Cowboys jersey with the caption, "I try to warn you." Others joked that Jerry was auditioning for a front office role, just so he could fix the team himself. But under all the humor, there was a serious undertone. Rice wasn't just stirring the pot. He was questioning the Cowboys' very identity. How can a team with so much history, talent, and media power continue to fall short when it matters most? The uncomfortable truth is that question has haunted Dallas for decades, and Rice just poured salt on an old wound. What makes this even juicier is that some insiders claim Rice has been holding back these thoughts for years. Apparently, during his broadcasting stints, he often hinted at Dallas's culture problem, but producers would cut or soften his comments to avoid controversy. This time, though, he was off the clock, relaxed, and speaking freely. The gloves were off. He supposedly said, "They care more about being stars than being champions." That line hit social media like wildfire. Former players chimed in, some agreeing, some calling him out for being harsh. Even current Cowboys took notice. CeeDee Lamb reportedly liked a post defending Rice's honesty before unliking it moments later. You know what that means? He saw it, he felt it, and he didn't want the drama. Behind the scenes, that kind of tension can either destroy a locker room or fuel a comeback. The question is, which way will it go this time? The Dallas front office, of course, wasn't thrilled. Sources close to the team say that owner Jerry Jones saw the clip almost immediately and was not amused. Jones, known for his pride and showmanship, allegedly told associates that Rice was just looking for attention and dismissed the comments as irrelevant noise. But when a legend speaks, you can't just brush it off. Fans and analysts started dissecting Rice's words line by line, comparing them to the Cowboys' last few playoff runs, or lack thereof. Every missed opportunity, every coaching decision, every sign of ego suddenly looked like proof that Rice had a point. The Cowboys may be rich in branding, but what about their football soul? It's one thing to sell tickets and jerseys. It's another to win when the lights are brightest. And that's what Rice was calling out. Not the players, not even the fans, but the system that keeps the Cowboys looking flashy but feeling hollow. To make matters worse, other NFL legends have started echoing Rice's sentiments. Shannon Sharpe, for instance, jumped on his show and said, "Jerry's just saying what we've all been thinking." That opened the floodgates. Now, what began as one retired legend's opinion has turned into a full-on movement. Everywhere you look, people are debating whether the Cowboys are truly a football powerhouse or just a marketing machine in pads. Even rival fan bases are jumping in, calling Dallas the Hollywood Cowboys. All talk, no trophies. Rice, meanwhile, hasn't backtracked an inch. If anything, he doubled down in a follow-up interview, saying he has nothing personal against the Cowboys but feels they've forgotten what real football leadership looks like. That's not shade. That's a gut punch wrapped in truth. And you know what? Maybe this is the moment that forces Dallas to take a hard look in the mirror. Part 2. Now, let's break down the fallout, because this story didn't just fade away. It grew bigger, louder, and more personal by the day. The Cowboys' next game was practically a media circus. Cameras zoomed in on every sideline conversation, every argument, every look of frustration. Analysts on national TV couldn't stop referencing Jerry's comments like they were scripture. The phrase "lack of discipline" was repeated so many times that it became a headline by itself. Fans brought signs to the stadium that said, "Prove Rice wrong and show some heart." That's how deep this thing went. It became a rallying cry, but also a spotlight, exposing cracks in the Cowboys' confidence. Even the players' post-game interviews were awkward. When asked about Rice's critique, some dodged the question, others defended their team, but none looked comfortable. The pressure was unmistakable. It's one thing to lose. It's another to have a legend call you out publicly. Suddenly, the Cowboys weren't just playing opponents. They were playing their own reputation. Behind closed doors, rumors started flying about tension between the coaching staff and ownership. Sources whispered that head coach Mike McCarthy felt thrown under the bus, caught between player loyalty and public expectation. He reportedly told someone in the organization that the noise is affecting the locker room, which is coach speak for people are losing focus. And yet, part of that noise came from truth. Jerry Rice's comments about the Dallas Cowboys didn't just echo through the sports media. They detonated like a bomb. Fans were left stunned. Pundits were scrambling for reactions. And even former players started to weigh in on what the NFL legend had said. According to Rice, the Cowboys' problems go way beyond the field. He believes the team's culture has been rotting from the top down. That kind of statement, coming from one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, immediately caught fire. Everyone knows Jerry Rice doesn't speak recklessly. When he opens his mouth, it's because he means business. His words were surgical, cutting through the usual noise around Dallas and aiming straight at the heart of their identity. He said the Cowboys don't play like a team hungry for legacy anymore. And that's a direct hit to an organization that prides itself on tradition. The reaction from Dallas was expectedly defensive, but even some Cowboys insiders have quietly admitted there might be truth in what Rice said. Whether fans love or hate the message, one thing's for sure. The NFL has rarely seen someone of Rice's stature throw this kind of shade so openly. What's even more interesting is that Rice didn't back down after the initial backlash. Instead, he doubled down in an interview, saying that the Cowboys talk more than they work. That line alone went viral within minutes, spreading across social media like wildfire. You could almost feel the tension building between the 49ers legend and the Cowboys fan base. He pointed out that while teams like San Francisco and Kansas City focus on discipline and execution, Dallas seems obsessed with image and hype. That hit hard, especially considering how often the Cowboys are in the spotlight regardless of results. Some fans called Rice bitter or out of touch, but others applauded him for saying what many have been thinking for years. The truth is, when someone of Rice's credibility speaks, people listen, even the critics. And when he implies that America's team has lost its edge, that conversation becomes impossible to ignore, whether you were blue and silver or not. Behind the scenes, there's talk that Jerry Jones himself was furious about the remarks. Sources close to the organization say the owner took Rice's criticism personally, especially the part where Rice mentioned leadership being part of the problem. Rice never said Jones' name directly, but everyone knew who he was referring to. The Cowboys front office has long been accused of prioritizing marketing over football fundamentals, and Rice just poured gasoline on that fire. Inside the locker room, some players reportedly felt embarrassed, while others agreed quietly with Rice's sentiment. One veteran was quoted saying, "He's not wrong, but he didn't have to say it like that." Still, that's the thing about brutal honesty. It cuts deep. Rice didn't deliver a PR statement. He delivered truth wrapped in frustration. Whether or not Dallas likes it, this could be the kind of external pressure that either wakes them up or pushes them further into dysfunction. Either way, it's impossible to look away. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Meanwhile, former NFL stars have started chiming in, adding fuel to the already blazing debate. Shannon Sharpe, never one to stay quiet, said Rice just told the truth out loud, while others like Michael Irvin, a Cowboys legend himself, tried to defend his team. Irvin acknowledged that Dallas has issues, but argued that the locker room still has heart. However, even he couldn't ignore Rice's point about leadership and accountability. The tension between old-school football values and modern-day media culture seems to be reaching a boiling point. What Rice said might have been harsh, but it's reflective of something deeper in today's NFL, where image sometimes overshadows performance. It's almost poetic that the most disciplined player in history is calling out the team most associated with glitz and noise. Fans across the league can't stop talking about it, and no matter how this plays out, Rice has shifted the entire conversation about what it means to be a storied franchise in today's game. In the aftermath, the Cowboys organization released a carefully worded statement trying to downplay the situation, emphasizing respect for Jerry Rice and his career. But the tone felt defensive, almost wounded, as if the truth had stung more than they expected. Reporters noticed that even during press conferences, players seemed uneasy when asked about Rice's words. Dak Prescott, trying to stay composed, said he respects Jerry, but disagrees with his take. Still, you could sense the tension in his voice. These aren't just rumors anymore. This has become a full-blown narrative haunting the Cowboys as they try to stay focused on the season. For Jerry Rice, this isn't about stirring controversy. It's about demanding excellence in a league that once revolved around it. His critique wasn't an attack, but a challenge, one that the Cowboys now have no choice but to answer on the field. Otherwise, Rice's words will echo every time they falter. As the dust begins to settle, one thing is crystal clear. Jerry Rice has reminded the world what accountability looks like. In an era when athletes often dodge controversy, he chose to speak from the heart, and that authenticity struck a nerve. The Cowboys, for all their glamour and global brand power, now find themselves under a microscope, not because of a scandal, but because of a legend's opinion. Some see Rice as an old-school purist unwilling to adapt to modern football's culture, while others see him as the voice of truth in a sport drowning in marketing. Either way, his comments have reignited the conversation about what truly defines greatness in the NFL. Legacy isn't built on highlight reels or sponsorships. It's built on integrity, discipline, and results. And that's the message Jerry Rice delivered, raw and unapologetic, leaving the Cowboys and everyone watching with a question they can't avoid. Do you want to be famous, or do you want to be great? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.